Hey guys, and welcome to the Mysteries of Selindor, episode 165. I am your GM Gagnor, and today we're going to continue off with a couple of our party members being trapped in a well. Seti, do you have more details for us?
Well, kind of. Like, most of us are trapped at the bottom of this prison well with a succubus, and we have Grim and Cleary on the outside working to get us out with Zuktmoy, Grim's patron, who wanted dirt on the succubus's sister, rather, to try to blackmail her into releasing us. And in that pursuit, they have kidnapped the sister's lover, this hunter guy in the abyss who was a jerk. And now they, I think, are planning on ransoming him back, while the rest of us at the bottom of the well are kind of just fucked. Some of us literally fucked.
Do recommend.
So,
After losing 90 of your hit points.
with that, we're going to pick up with Grim. As you, Sporks, and Cleary follow Zugtamoy through this portal, leaving your recently captured prey behind in the mansion. Well, I guess technically he's laying in the middle of Zugtamoy's Shadekla, somewhere in the southern regions of it. As you step through, it is a bit of a shocking change, where you move from this dark, drippy, like dank place that you feel so comfortable in to just beautiful, clear forest, nature surrounding you. You can hear the sounds of birds chirping and just this fresh air that like touches your nostrils the second you walk in. I feel like Sim's like looking for music to change this to.
I don't know, man. Just keep going.
Okay. As you enter into this space, Zugtamoy pushes through, and you look around for a moment, and just like this sort of like verdant shift almost catches you off guard. But what catches you more off guard is spears immediately being put into your face. And they say, "What are you doing here, Lady of Spores? You know you are not welcome and that this gate is only to be used for emergencies." And you see dozens of what look like several different beautiful people. Some of them have very like strange changes to their physique that make them look a little monstrous, like just slightly elongated limbs, like longer necks than you would imagine. Some of them are covered in bark, others in barbs, and they're all sort of like pointing these long spears that are obviously covered in poison straight at all of you. Zugtamoy says, "I do not believe it is your place to question what I do." Says, and they say, "Have you come here with business with the Queen?" "I have indeed." "We have been instructed that your threats are worthless and that you should turn around and return." "Is that so? Well, I have a bit of a grievance. Don't I, Grim?"
Yes.
"I'm sure Grim could tell you that he was wrongfully attacked simply by politely requesting an audience with her ladyship from her consort in Pazuzu."
It's true. He did threaten to kill me.
"I see. Well, that is not a matter that is big enough for the Queen to listen to. Obviously, you would have to bring it up with him, and if he does not apologize, well, I'm sorry, but there's not much that we... Oh, no. I don't think you understand. We have already dealt with the favored consort. The issue now is that we have business with your queen to, well, get the rest of our recompense and come to a satisfactory conclusion for both sides." There's a moment, and then one of them just sort of like whispers to another, and they sort of dip back for a moment. And when that one returns, just a few moments later, says, "The Queen will see you. Follow us." And they begin moving you through the trees. You have this beautiful forest. The sounds of it feel like the forest you used to grow up in way back when, maybe a little less swampy, but still that taste of nature is clean. But then make me a perception check.
Perception. 31.
Well, 31, you begin to sense it as you continue moving through this forest that the soil, there's something different about it. It isn't made from dust and rock that has continued to take bits of organics and become fertile for these trees to grow. No, it's began with organics that broke down so much more than there is earth. Begin looking amongst the trees, and you can see at the base of each one a body, remnants, signs of it, dozens of bodies, almost screaming within the wood itself. As a druid, you can feel the souls that have been lost here, left to wither and feed the gardens.
I think there'd be more mushrooms.
Looking about, with the exception of Zugdamoy's very large mushroom that was left here intentionally, this place has flowers, all sorts of strange, fantastic flowers. Not like the Feywild, but in a sense, some of them are just a little bit stranger than ones that you've seen, unidentifiable, just alien in a sense. But you continue moving through, and then you begin to see different groups of individuals partaking in what you assume to be in a succubus's lair, the main pastime. It's a little interest to you, so I won't even bother describing it, but it is happening about as you continue moving through the space.
Must be season.
You begin making your way up through this sort of littered steps that seem to be like overgrown with vines and lush vegetation, the moss of which creates natural bedding with which these activities are taking place. You head up further and further, and at the top you see this magnificent open-air, I want to say it's something like a temple or whatever those things are called, like the Greek gods would have had. Just big open air, large columns exclusively, no walls to hold anything back or in.
Yeah. Like a Parthenon kind of thing.
Parthenon, that's the word I was trying to find. So as you come across it and you are led up and inside, the debauchery becomes more intense and more concentrated. The writhing of bodies moving over one another creates a sort of vignette that surrounds you that is almost unintelligible. You can't tell where bodies start or end or begin. Things are just writhing and moving all over the place in such a strange manner, and just the juxtaposition of this with the nature surrounding it, there's like this sort of heat and humidity in the air that almost makes you sick. As you continue through, you see, sitting on a risen platform, just stairs leading up from all sides, is a singular throne of spikes and blades, all mashed together. There is no cushion, there is no anything, no sign of comfort. And sitting upon it is a strangely beautiful individual. Their eyes themselves seem almost hawk-like in their sharpness, but they seem to also draw you in and make you feel like both prey and like you're being loved at the same time. She looks down at you, large horns curling up from her head, her sort of raven-like wings spread out around her. Her body is a little bit more elongated and strange than the others are seeing in Shamimura. Very humanoid, very traditional succubus look. This one seems significantly more to have embraced the original monstrous side of her species. And yet still somehow incredibly alluring. As you begin to approach, she says, Zogtamoy, you have come into my bidding chamber, into my throne room, after what? A veiled threat upon releasing information of one of my children? Pathetic. For what reason have you come here, you old husk of spore and death? How very amusing. Thank you for introducing me so colorfully. As you see, I've come here with a rather important guest. She sort of crooks her head to the side and like creams and looks at you, almost bird-like in the way she sort of like twitches her head. I do not know what either of these creatures are. Please explain.
All these is sporks.
Yeah, that's right. I'm Sparks. Oh, interesting. I didn't even realize that was there. I thought it was some sort of strange doll. My, your minions have become quite pathetic, haven't they, Inoki? Isn't that what you call yourself in that dreaded place?
Well,
It is
you sh-
exactly that we have come for.
It's really funny that you call us pathetic. That's really funny, considering what's going to happen next. It's actually really funny.
Oh, and what's going to happen next? You
Well,
deranged or furball creature. Ugh.
technically, it already happened because if Grim is pathetic, then that means you were mating with something even more pathetic.
Her eyes narrow at you. I have mated, as you will, with many denizens of many worlds. And some of them are weaker than others, I must say.
Yeah, but you built like a whole palace for this one.
Her eyes narrow even more, and you can feel like a bit of sharpness now, like a tingling in the back of your neck, as if there's a blade ready to strike against you at any moment to separate it from your shoulders. And she looks at you deeply and says, Speak plainly. What have you done? And to which of my lovers?
Well, what does he call himself? The favored consort?
You can see like some of the strange feathers on her wings bristle for a moment, and she says, The favored consort is only a title for one who I barely even visited in the past millennia. He's become a bore. He brought me one interesting trinket some time ago, and I do every now and again remind him that I am the only lover he shall take. But he is not favored, he's more of a guard dog.
Well, right now he's not guarding anything.
What did you do?
Well, he thought he could attack Grim, which was a very bad idea.
Yes, and
And
what
now he is
did
a
you
drooling
do?
puddle.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. 29.
With a 29, she looks at you for a moment and she says, A drooling puddle. You can tell something didn't work. And she's sort of irked, but she barely changes her expression.
Yeah, I think you'll need better guard dogs.
more importantly, currently you have no guard dog. So all of those, I'd say, sexually oppressed, bone-like skeletal creatures of Pazuzu and any other passerby who seems to be going to the planar portals will very likely be seeking a little bit of your comfort, in a sense.
It's probably the wrong kind of bones that you want, you know?
Yeah, all of my kind will be down shortly, looking to give you a really good boning.
We would end them in but a moment.
Yes, of course you would, my dear. But the embarrassment, oh, the embarrassment. If I begin telling the other lords and ladies of the abyss of your weak lover simply spent. Not even a note. I don't even believe he harmed you in any meaningful way, did he, Grim?
No, not really. He kind of just like turned even dumber, and that was that.
She sort of says,
Well, what is it you want? Clearly, you've been attempting to blackmail me for some time, Zugtamoy. So just get on with it. What do you want? Well, obviously, it's going to be something you really don't want to do. Quit beating around the bush, you hag. Very well. Grim, what is it we want?
Well, the main thing is that we would like you to release your sister.
there's a moment, there's a pause, and you can feel daggers from all directions, like this sharpness continuing to pile upon you. I need you to make me, well, you're not immune to fear, but just make me a wisdom saving throw anyways.
31.
31. She goes,
And which of my sisters is it you wish released?
The one that is currently copulating with our friends in a well.
there's a moment, and then you can see just her face becomes fierce, and she goes, couldn't hear it because it peaked the mic, but a screech so devastating that all the bodies writhing around the room stop. And more than 75% of them fall unconscious. You feel this wail rip through you, and she says,
Are you meaning to tell me that you wish to have me release Shami Amore? That bitch!
I mean, I was not aware that she was a canine, but yes.
I can do no such thing. We have nothing to talk about. Do what you will.
Oh, okay, I mean, I guess we could just bring the four-armed guy to Demogorgon, I guess? Is that what the next move is?
make a persuasion check, or if it's a threat specifically, you can also make intimidation.
It's the same roll either way. I rolled a natural 1.
She says, The Demogorgon knows all about my lovers. You'll have to do better than that.
And he knows about the Gumboblat too, yeah?
He does not care about any of my
Past dalliances, she seems to like dodge around the situation for the rest of the room that isn't unconscious.
How does it happen anyway? How does one that looks like you give birth to like a goblin?
Do not come here and attempt to degrade me. Do you not know what I am? I am almost that of the original kind. I am what once was and will be again if you do not wash your tone. I will
Did you
rip
say
your soul
almost?
apart.
So you're not the original kind.
We have changed.
That's kind of embarrassing to have to say almost, isn't it?
Uh, yeah. She's gonna make a. You can see that there's a sense of pain beginning to run through you. Like initially, you can tell she is perched to attack, and she says,
One more word from you and there will be war.
Septimoid says,
There'll be no such thing, and you know it. You would have attacked long ago if I were not here, which is why I degraded myself to be here. But listen, most of your lovers are down anyways.
and there's a bit of another thing. We could just go, well, informing them about your your plans against the Demogorgon. At this, she pauses again and says,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
of course you do. Listen, out of respect for you and for the fact that, well, since there are so many people within this room, they are probably and likely, definitely almost, going to talk a lot, gossip as it were, to several individuals outside of this realm of yours. Not all of them are food, are they not? You service lots of high-end clientele with. I don't need you to explain it to me, you Badokan trash. You can see he's sort of taking it back. He's like, I desire to say no such thing. But if you are not going to listen to what it is we are trying to say, I am very afraid that I'm going to have to get nasty myself, and as I am now, I can get very fucking nasty. I'm a person I love trapped in that well with your bitch of a sister. I see where she gets that from. Must run in the family. If you don't step back and do what we ask, I'm gonna melt your whole fucking world down. You see Cleary is shaking at this point. And then he like realizes what he's done and goes, please.
And you thought I was bad.
Zuctomoy says,
I don't even know who he is, but I'd listen.
Yeah, he serves a primordial, so, you know.
wait, what's... I have to look at the actual thing to see. I rolled a natural 17 with Cleary's check. Oh, Cleary, you got nothing, dog.
I did give him inspiration before I left, but I don't know if he used it or not.
Okay, he does have his inspiration, so I will burn that to roll a d12 on this. I mean, this was inspired by you regardless, right?
Excuse me.
Ooh, that's an 11. So what? 19? That's a 29. At that moment, she goes, and you can feel like she sort of begins to like move and shake and thrash a bit with her wings, and she just like slams against the throne, and you can see the blade like sinks into her flesh, and as she pulls her hand back, there's no blood. Didn't harm her in any way, shape, or form, but she just...
I want you all to remember these words. I do not forget, and I do not forgive. I will do my best to accomplish what is necessary for your request, and you will do this. You'll return my lover to his rightful place, where I can deal with him. You will keep your mouth shut and keep my name out of your mouths for the remainder of your miserable lives. And if I see your face on my lair, my slice of heaven again, remember you will, in that moment, be dead. Am I making myself clear?
Yeah, it should be pretty easy. I don't even think I know your name. Really, though, I don't think I know her name.
As she begins screaming again, we're going to cut back to the well. Deep in the well, you all sit in this damp, miserable place, dripping constantly, always seems to fall in the same spot on your head, no matter where you move. A constant tick. You look over at Shami Amore, whose wings are up, covering the top of her head, and still there's a drip moving from her wings and dripping the top of her forehead. And she goes, "So, you prefer this to my lush quarters? Is that right?"
No, but kind of wanted to look around without the illusion. This
Oh
is
no,
definitely not better.
please, turn each rock over. And you guys, at this point, I'm sure, are just rummaging through everything, doing everything that you can to make it work. Meanwhile, Bropsy's still topside with 3 iterations of the Arcanoloth known as, oh god, I already forgot his name too. How do I keep forgetting his name? It can't be that difficult. Oreshka. So what would you guys like to do?
I think when
Turn
we
over
had left
every
off.
rock.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say at this point you have turned over most of the rocks. You may be
We've turned
continuing
over the rocks,
to do
we've
so.
given them names and personalities and elaborate backgrounds and love stories between them. I think when we left off, Seti had pretty much figured out that what we're looking for is not down here after all, and we were all duped. And I had shouted up to Bropsy.
Go ahead and do that now in character, so since Bropsy's actually here to have heard any of that.
I had shouted up something like, well, pun not intended, but, well, we are, maybe needing. Maybe the key is out there after all, and maybe, that guy can, help?
What guy is she talking about? I'm really not sure, dear. You look over to your right, Bropsy, and you see a sort of since you haven't really been here for most of this,
Yeah.
a sort of like wizened-looking bipedal fox man who is wearing very fine robes draped about his body, carrying scrolls and such that they're just loosely looking through while you're trying your best to help your friends. And then they all seem to have just slightly different personalities and mannerisms. This one kind of like keeps the robes about them like a shawl. And just looks over at you and is like, I'm not sure what they're talking about, dearie. Do you know by any chance? I don't know. Tell you what, I don't know much of nothing. You turn around and you see another on your other side. Very much the same, just seems a little bit more kicked back. Another seems to be like hovering over the well, and he's like, well, I'm looking around myself, my friends, but I don't seem to be, well, seeing much of a key at all. I have seen it down below the water. Are you sure it's not down there?
Okay, well, right now, Braps is thinking that they're full of shit. I rolled a 21 insight.
21 insight. They're gonna do deception.
Yep. Could inspire himself.
Maybe the key's in the water, so when you look from above, it's below, and when you're below, it's above.
Hold on, I'm gonna inspire myself. I'm looking at how do I inspire? D12.
Schrodinger's key.
I'm gonna do the. Fuck. Do the. Take it. That becomes a 27.
Well, I kid you not, they rolled a 26, so you can tell that they are lying. They rolled a 17 plus 9.
All of them collectively? Is that all I can tell? That they are in fact full of it?
Well, at least one of them's full of it. Certainly the one that spoke last.
Okay. What do I do about that?
Entirely up to you. He's like, well, I suppose we could keep looking up here. You keep your chin up. You're probably going to be trapped in there forever. That much is almost certain. But we'll do our best from up here, as we are all on the same side. Excuse me. And he begins like sort of like trotting, bouncing, bounding through the air, like almost as if there's invisible steps that he can hit. Says, Key, where are you? Are you capable of hearing me, Key? Says, well, I'm just going to sit here, if that's perfectly all right with you, my dear.
I don't know how effective this is gonna be. But you know how when someone's hiding a thing, and you start going for one location, they reflexively look to where it is.
Okay, you're trying to use. Well, then say what you're gonna say to try to trick them into looking, and then I will have you roll an
I
insight
don't really
check.
know what my surroundings are here in order to.
Looking around, you are basically on a few hundred yards by a few hundred yards floating chunk of rock covered in grass. In fact, if you go to, do you have Roll20 open?
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, no, I have D&D Beyond.
If you go to Roll20,
Yeah.
actually, I'll move this Arcanoloth up to where he's floating around. Gagnir's in the well. Let me put everybody in the well that's supposed to be in the well. Okay, so everybody's down in the well, and it's this sort of like green hued everything, almost like blue. The grass, I couldn't get the grass with dark color, but it's sort of like bluish teal grass spread throughout. You can see like this sort of patterned gravel path that seems to be winding in a specific pattern around, but then the ground itself just gets cut off after a few hundred yards in each direction, and is floating in what appears to just be space.
Mm-hmm.
There's no top, there's no anything. It's just this big, huge, open abyss. And there's this well with 15-foot high walls, quite large, all the way across.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty deep before you hit the water, and even deeper, deeper, deeper below before you touch the bottom. And that's where your friends are.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, so you've got this one. I actually think would be. I'll put you like on the. So they've got one kind of sitting there next to you, and then this guy's kind of kicked back over here. So what would you like to say or do?
So a void with a floating rock island, or are you saying it just like?
Yeah, it's you're in a prison dimension, and there's an actual prison that is the well right next to you. So it's basically nothing in every direction except grass, rocks, and these foxmen.
Is it racist to drop on the fact that foxes burrow and dig?
You can do whatever you like. You can infer whatever you like. The other one does seem to be bounding around still, checking things out.
There's a whole lot of empty around here, I must say. Haven't seemed to spot any key, I'm afraid. How about you down there? Any luck yet?
You guys hear this echoing and being a little garbled below the water.
No.
Tati is making some of her new rock friends kiss.
Just like
What?
clanking the rocks together.
Can someone give me a recap of what was investigated before y'all went down into the well?
Basically
Not
nothing.
much.
Or flew around all over the place.
They
Or it looked
literally
around a
saw the
bunch.
key in the water. Oren flew all over the place, saw nothing. And then they jumped into the water. After a big fight with a lot of the versions of Oreshka that are no longer around. These are the 3 that surrendered. There were
Above,
5 more.
above the prison. What is above the prison? Is there some kind of sky?
Open sky, it looks like stars.
Uh-huh.
You can make me a perception check to see if you can make anything out.
17.
17? There's constellations of these stars are nothing you've ever seen before. You don't recognize any of the positions of anything, and nothing looks remotely familiar. It's a little bit more stardust and nebula than you would have expected from a normal night sky. Like, it seems a bit more mystical and alive than that, almost as if there's like this sort of magic barrier surrounding the entire area as a bubble that sort of sets a limit, so everything seems a bit closer than you would expect if you were looking in actual space. But you don't see anything that particularly stands out.
Would the bubble be small enough for me to reach?
You could certainly try.
Oh, I'd like to try.
All right, so you start flying. As Bropsy, you guys see Bropsy get smaller and smaller and smaller as she flies, sort of just straight up, I assume?
I know.
Or whatever's necessary to get as up as possible while you're doing it. Says,
Oh, you're going to help me? Look, fantastic. You take that side, I'll take this one. We're partners in this.
and as you begin flying further and further up, once you hit what to your flight height would normally be clouds, you begin to feel the nebulas as you pass through them. Similar to clouds in the way that they feel as they break against your feathers, but there's this sense of magic filled within them. Make me an Arcana check.
Not very good at that. That's a 10.
With 10, you just know that there's some sort of magic involved in these. And you also notice that you begin to run out of air very quickly.
It's very rude, considering who Rapsy is.
It's true.
Okay. So there's no, like, touching it or getting to the other side.
Well, you continue trying to fly, and then the next thing you know, there's no air to beat beneath your wings. However, I'm fairly certain that this has happened to you in the past, and you were capable of flying even then. So as you begin to wrap yourself in your own air and breath, you continue flying if you wish.
For a bit, I want to investigate.
You break through some of the nebulas, and you find yourself looking at stars, but they seem to be like maybe a mile away, as opposed to however many billions of miles away most stars are. You can sort of see them now, like they're small little burning dots. They seem to be patterned all throughout what appears to just be a sphere surrounding it. You look back down and you can see that there's this sort of nebulous cloudscape surrounding the island, but then past that, in a few miles in every direction, there's just dots that seem to have been painted on the inside of a massive sphere. So it would take you a long time to make it to any of these, but You could certainly try.
Does it feel like the astral sea?
Well, it's similar, but there's no flow.
Mm.
There's no phlogiston or anything like that. It's just
Okay.
empty.
Okay. I don't really know what to do with that, but it's information. I will go back down. I would like to see if there's an underside of this place.
Okay. As you begin flying underneath and around, you see that the rock that supports it becomes jagged and strange. And also, you notice that you begin to lose your sense of direction. As you crest below it, you find yourself almost being pulled toward it in the opposite direction, as if all gravity falls in it like it's its own spherical planet. And you begin to have to shift your direction to then fly up instead of down, beating your wings against it to head the opposite direction. You get to the underside. Make me an investigation check.
20. 30, 20.
With a 20, all you can really seem to make out is jagged rock. Nothing really stands out to you as being abnormal. It's just, like several hundred yards of crags and fissures, and it could take days to search all of them for any hidden nooks or crannies that might lead to something. Meanwhile, what are those of you in the well doing? Have you just decided to?
I think I want to try to check the water. Like, I want to try and get into that water layer again.
Okay, so you fly up and begin trying to push against it with all your strength? Or you're going to try something different?
Not just straight, it's water, just Superman flight right into it, like diving in from the bottom.
Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Let's go and use that. No, not much better. 12!
With a 12, you fly at it with full speed and you impact with it, taking 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
We can't get out that way. Is your noggin okay?
Yeah, but it's not solid. Just kind of like hits it, where it kind of ripples.
Yeah, yeah, kind of does. It's like hitting Jello that the
It's
Jello
like
just
that really
won't let
thick.
you in.
Yeah, but that you couldn't get out when well, that was Orin, but
what if I threw Orin at it? Yeah.
Well, okay, sure. We've got nothing better to do. Hang on, let me check my spells just to confirm because I might have used them all. But
Just like, okay, Orin, I'm gonna hold your arm and you're like, I'm gonna spin around real fast and I'm gonna throw you at it.
I mean, I can fly faster than you can throw me, right? And I've already tried to get in there and it didn't work.
Throw me at it?
I could fly assist to help you gain speed, maybe?
He's not nearly strong enough to throw you, you idiot.
Says Destrin, just like sitting off to the side. And you can see that she's like picking the dirt out from under the nails of each of her hands one by one, and they're kind of like running off after they're cleaning. And they like formed a line to get like a manicure.
Can I help with that and paint their fingernails?
She make a sleight of hand check.
I like to think it's a 21, but I like to think that me and the succubus are painting their nails.
Yeah.
Let me go see her. Perception's only +3, so she does not see you doing this. She is focused on what she is working on. So yes, you and Shami Amore are painting the fingernails and gussying them up.
I put a ribbon around the middle finger. Tie a
Beautiful.
nice little bow on top. Anyway, but I'm going to burn a 4th level slot to send another message to Clary and just say, pretty sure Key is outside with Warden. Dropsy is up there, but rest of us trapped. Oops. Having good
Love the
time
message was, oops.
with new succubus friend though. I'm painting Destron's hands nails. And the rocks are kissing.
Back to Grim and Cleary. Back into a room where debauchery usually fills the air. Now almost completely silent, and all of you looking expectantly at Malconthet as she has a furrowed brow and is looking intently.
Any moment now, please,
Says Zugdamoy. And Cleary goes silent for a moment and sort of has weird expressions on his face. Oh, Ox of kissing. Okay. And he starts talking out loud. Seti, we are solving the problem. Just waiting for Malconthet to keep up her end of the deal. We'll get you out soon. Why are the rocks kissing? And we'll get back to you guys in a little bit. But what's the holdup? I mean, my friends are currently trapped in there with your sister, and I'm a bit worried about that situation, as you might see. And you see that he begins to glow slightly. There's a bit of light coming from inside of him that's just a myriad of different colors. And then she goes,
listen, it is not something I had intended to just be happening without my consent. In fact, the very nature of the trap is that it cannot happen without my consent. I am trying to trick myself into allowing it.
I'm sorry, did you make a lock you couldn't pick?
The rule I set when the well was sealed was that I had to desire my sister's freedom. And I'm trying to desire it, but I simply can't. Oh, I see how it is. You wish for it to happen only as much as it serves the purpose of avoiding the very nasty things we're going to do to you. But as it is, you hate your sister so much, you can't make it happen, can you?
She looks and she says,
I have much control over my mind and my desires, more than any being in the universe, but hatred is hatred. And she betrayed me first.
Well, I mean, is there anything we can do to make you want her out?
Yeah. Do we need to set up therapy for you? We can try.
I mean, the longer you wait, the more you're going to have to sit there and listen to me and Sparks.
Yes, I'm aware.
The sooner she's out, the
annoyances-
sooner we leave.
Yes, it is driving me insane, and it takes every fiber of my control not to murder you. Maybe if you were gone, I could focus better on
No,
this.
we're gonna stay until she's out. Don't you really want her out so we leave?
She looks at you and says, "It would really help me." Make a charisma saving throw.
8.
She looks at you, and you can feel something boring into you. And then she kind of perks up and gets a little bit excited for a moment, and she says, "In fact, why don't you come here and we can enjoy ourselves thoroughly?"
Is that a
Well,
charm?
yeah.
Okay, so fun fact: I am still charmed by Nathaniel Durandus,
Uh-huh.
and therefore cannot be charmed by someone else because I'm already
that a-
charmed.
Is that a rule that you can't be charmed
You
by
can only be
anybody
charmed
else?
by one person at a time. I've never cured my charm from Nathaniel Durandus.
Have you
So
been
as
greater
she does this,
restored at any point?
he has been greater restored.
I haven't greater restore, but I thought, hold on, those
sure
restore
that-
specific.
I think that gets rid of charm.
Does it get rid of charm, or does it get rid of like a single effect at a time? Like,
Let
does
me
it get rid of
double check.
everything?
I just was reading about
This
it.
is technically you
Well-
could be immune to charm.
You can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1 or end one of the following effects on the target.
Ah.
Undo a debilitating effect. So it doesn't like cure you of everything, like in like Neverwinter Nights or something, right?
Yeah,
So
one effect
as she
that
does
charmed
this,
or petrified. So if you haven't specifically been, yeah.
you feel a charmed effect begin to wash over you. You don't feel a thing.
Like I'm sorry, I am saving myself for my vampire friend, who I met.
She looks at
many,
Zuctamo
many
and says,
weeks
"What
ago.
is this creature, and why will he not fall for my charms? Are you protecting him, Zuctamoy? That's dirty." And then Zuctamoy says, "No, I don't know what it's about. I think he's just dead down there."
No, yeah, Grim does not really interest in these things.
She says, such creatures should not exist in this world. Ah!
But that's pretty close-minded, you know. That's like not everybody has to be interested
I'm
in that
not
kind of thing.
known for being an open-minded queen.
I mean,
So just
maybe
shut
if
up
you
and let
were,
me
you wouldn't
focus.
have all these problems.
Oh
you
my
know?
god, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him.
No, you won't. Maybe not today. Maybe it's tomorrow. But he may make me leave my throne room for something other than copulation. I might just follow you wherever you may go and end you when you least expect it.
Yes, this is helping my desires very much. The thought of you dead, that I desire.
Can't do it until you get the lady out of the prison.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm gonna fail.
With advantage. I'll give you advantage.
That's an 18 and a 3.
So with an 18, she's like, and you can feel she's like, there's almost like it's like she can just gauge exactly what she needs for it to click, and it's just not there. And Cleary is just like tapping his foot and pacing around, and he's like starting to sweat, and he's like, "Madam Zuctamoy, I would really appreciate it if you would back up a few 100 feet. Is that okay? Maybe go wait outside the palace. I know you're here to protect." She says,
Well, that's interesting. You want to be left alone with her? She'll charm you in a moment, child.
says, "Trust me. I think she'll have less than a moment to figure out what she's going to do."
Very well. If any harm comes to them while I am stepping away for a moment, know that I will bring war to you, and all of your succubi cannot win a war against me and my ilk.
She says,
Be gone with you.
"Very well." She begins to step out. Cleary looks at her and he says, "This is your moment, wench. If you do not desire it,
then know that I will burn your world down until you desire nothing other than that. She says, a threat? Is that what you're willing to put against me? A threat? You've been threatening me with loss of everything since the beginning. Says, yes, but this time the threat's going to have a countdown. How do you like that? I'm going to start destroying everything, starting with the throne you sit upon. And at that moment, you see he opens his hands and he says, let's get the party started. And he opens his hands, and as he does, there's this tiny bead of light. It says, Grim, investiture flames.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
And as he does, a tiny sun appears between his hands, and he throws it at her throne. And with that, we're going to cut back to you guys. Seti, you receive a message from Cleary
He
saying
asked
that
me
they're
why
just
the
waiting
rocks are
for...
kissing, but I can't explain it without burning a 6th-level spell slot.
I don't know that it's that important.
But he says they're working on it out there. They're just waiting for her to say the words or make it happen, hold up her end of the bargain. So, you know, and I kind of like jostle the succubus shoulders because we're sitting like girl at sleepover style, painting fingernails shoulder to shoulder. And I just kind of give her a nudge and say like, so maybe, you know, in a couple more minutes here, we'll have some results.
So I had a thought. This doesn't mean I plan on doing it, but it was a thought.
Mhm.
What if she's dead? There's nothing the prison has to keep in anymore. Just a thought. Not...
Shamimura is sitting there, drips hitting the top of her head, and just looking at you. By all means, try.
Glances at Seti like,
We're
Can
not
I?
going to do that. No, hold tight. Cleary said he's working on it and that it's happening, and we just need to trust Cleary.
She looks at you as if you're a toy that she could play with at any time.
I mean, you're just like falls over backwards, like, you know, kid like, you know, falling onto his bed, just like, but hits the floor, just thud.
Yeah. Back to waiting. So, Propsy, you are upside down, searching the cracks. Is there anything you'd like to do or change, or what would you like to do?
Don't have any leads there, so I'm gonna go back and harass the bitch boys.
Okay. 2 of them are sitting around. The other one
Mhm.
seems to be heading back from his exploration. He says, you know, I've explored this place several times, my little bird friend, and as expected, I've found absolutely nothing. No keys to be found whatsoever.
They're wearing
Did you
robes.
find anything? Yeah, they got robes.
Robes that could have pockets.
Yeah, they seem to like be carrying books and multiple
Mhm.
different things.
Mhm.
Knickknacks.
Mhm.
Yep. There's also were a whole bunch of others, but they all turned into like dust and starlight. They kind of poofed as they died.
Huh. I don't know what to make of that. I'm just gonna tell him with my absolutely horrendous intimidation or whatever the fuck it would be. What is that? Oh yeah, that's not gonna go over well.
It's up to you.
Then I'm gonna find. Oh, okay, that's not in that one. That was a 7.
What do you
That's
say
still
though?
as intimidating as I thought. I was just gonna say, that it's only a matter of time before I find his stash.
Sorry, whose stash? My stash? Are you looking through my stash? Well, they're my pile of books. In fact, you can see some of them are collecting books from the other 5 dead ones, and kind of like the other 2 that stayed on the wall are kind of like going through those. And he says, "You scoundrels! You should have left some for me there." "No, as it is, these are our books. We claim them, and that's my inkwell." And he says, "No, it's for me. And she's going to take our stash," she said. "That's very unbecoming of a guest."
Technically not what I said, but sure.
Well, I'm sorry, if you'd mind clarifying. I'm sure we could cut you in. You're going to be here for an eternity. I could spare a book or 2 from a fallen me.
Are they all ordinary books?
Hard to say.
I feel like I'm getting checked. I want some more information about the well nonsense and the key that they saw that wasn't the key, or wasn't there, or wasn't accessible.
Okay. You can either try picking up a random book and checking its contents, or you can try persuading them to give you more information.
Well, okay. What does Bropsy remember about the other ones going into the well? And or
It seems to be a one-directional thing. Mitnir saw the key floating there, inside. It could be an illusion, could be something else. You've heard them talking. They've mentioned the fact that from Shami and Moray had mentioned that it's never where you expect it to be. It's the only line that they've gotten as any form of a hint on where it could be. And then in a different moment, Seti thought she saw it outside, floating directly above the well, about the same distance as it was shown floating below the well.
Okay, that's why I flew up.
And when you flew up, you saw nothing.
Uh-huh.
Something is going on.
Uh-huh.
There is some sort of illusion or trick.
Is it refracted like mirrors? Is it to the left?
Go ahead and make me... Let's do an Arcana check.
Not good at. That's a 14. That's good for me.
With a 14, you think about, like, how could things be reflected? How could they show things in different ways? The only thing you can figure with that is maybe the nebulas act as some sort of reflection as well. So you try to do, like, math it out. Like, okay, if this nebula is reflecting off this nebula and this one off this one and this one and this one, could it be somewhere? And you just can't get the math. You can't figure it out.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna look at the one that I know is a piece of shit.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say that. Say it's up, isn't it?
I'm sorry. What was that, old sport? What is up? Could you be more specific? Oh, you're talking about the key we're looking for, is that right? We didn't check
that I'm
quite
looking for.
up. I looked for it as well. You saw me bouncing around, did you not?
What's his story anyway? Can I, like... I could maybe ask the succubus this. Like, if that guy up there is copies of one guy, was it like he got bored and made copies of himself? Or is it like
It's hard to say. I stopped speaking to him years ago when he started driving me actually mad as a pastime. He was no doubt seduced by my sister and made into a contract he cannot break. As it is.
Is it his penis?
What?
Did you yell that down?
I mean, mean,
Is
that
there
would
a
be funny.
succubus up there too? Wait, what's
Can
what's
can
Propsy
Brapsy
doing?
fucking pants him?
You can certainly try. Make me an unarmed attack roll.
Oh fuck! How do I do that?
Or let's just say this: do an athletics or acrobatics check.
What about next? I think that's acrobatic. Okay. Oh, that's a 21. Do I inspire the pants?
No, he just rolls. Okay, so 21. Yeah, so you're able to try to like. Is this what are you doing? Oh my goodness, this is very improper. As you sort of jump on him, just like wrestle his like tunica to the side. I mean, he's got no real visible. Like it's all fur and fox stuff. It's not very visible. Like there's probably
That
something
would
there,
have
but
been
it's not a
so
key.
funny though.
He says that was incredibly improper.
Well, you won't tell me, so girls gotta resort to desperate measures here.
Ask more politely and directly what it is you want, and I'll prove it for you myself.
I want the key.
Just right, and we're looking for it. I swear on my life, I do not have your key.
Well, I know you don't have it on your person. I think there's shenanigans going on. He's like pointing at the water in the sky.
He looks up at the sky and says, "Shenanigans? That does sound like me. But not me, the greater me. Us, we, me. But I have no idea what I might be thinking." So, back on the other side, Grim, as you see this sun appear, and you see the throne, at first seems okay for just a moment as she jets out of it and screams, "What are you doing?" And you can see the heat starts to expand, and immediately people are fleeing and screaming and dragging the unconscious ones away. As a small sun appears in the center of the room, it burns and boils and melts. Even magical things begin to melt as the throne itself starts to sag. She says, "Stop it! Stop it! There's nothing I can do. I'm trying. Please, please. I'll kill you." Zugtamoy sees this bright light from the outside and like rushes to the edge of where she can bear the heat and says, "I understand your warning now. You are a tricky wizard." Says, "You will harm them in no such way. I have my eye on you." And she just screams as loud as she can as she flails around the room and says, "I have never suffered such insult. Since the dawn of the succubi I have felt not such rage. You are taking from me. You are taking from me." So here's what I'm going to have you do. Grim, is there any way you would like to affect or assist in this?
What will affect or assist in this? Do I have anything that would? Let's see.
It's entirely up to you. After that, I'm going to have you make a roll.
Could cast that.
I don't know what that is, so.
I could cast Earthquake.
Okay. You want to just shake the whole place?
It's a 100-foot radius.
Sure.
As long as
So
I'm 100 foot away from it.
So you begin casting that. I will say this: you are going to take some damage radiant damage still from his ability.
Yeah.
How close are you?
Oh, I don't even know how far
probably
away we are.
At the time that the thing was there, you guys were within 30 foot of the throne. But if you desire to back further away, you can.
I'll definitely back up some. Like, oh, just probably want to throw what's his name far away. Hopefully, Sporks went with Zugmore.
No, yeah, Sporks is running. He's like, "Oh, I'm burning, run away!" As it continues going, in that case, you're just going to take some radiant damage, but not the full extent.
I'm resistant too.
Oh, that's good. 10, 27. That's 34 points of radiant damage. So reduced to 17.
Okay.
As everything begins to melt and burn away, she screams, "Stop! Stop! I can do it! I want her out, no matter the cost. You win. Now stop." Go ahead and make a roll. Roll a D100.
D100. 1.
And she means it. So in that moment, do you stop the shaking?
Oh, I never even pressed it because you said I was 30 foot away from that throne. And I was like,
Oh yeah, I figured you were backing up during the time it was burning.
well, if I don't know how big her palace, unless her palace is like larger than 100 feet, and we're like, I don't know how close Cleary is. Unless there was like a lot of room, I wasn't gonna worry about it.
All right, fair enough. You still beat the threshold that it needed to be expanded. You rolled what you needed to, so
yeah,
hard to beat that. So in that case, Cleary just closes his hands together, and as he does, the sun goes out. During this time, you see the sun appear, and you were blind during that time. Like, you could see nothing. It was such blinding bright light, and then as it goes away, it's like your vision is just trying to recover.
Thankfully, I'm immune to blindness, but yeah, it would have been too bright for me to see anything else for sure.
Yeah, and as
like that was bright. That was
as your vision comes back to you and you look around, the throne is not quite a puddle on the pedestal. The magic has sort of kept it to the point where it's still something you could land a sit on. She looks and she just sort of almost weeps for a moment. She says, "Forged from the beginning, forged from the falling. You barbarians, I will get my revenge on you, I swear it." She can be freed now, but I have no means of contacting my god.
That's okay. We'll figure it out.
Very well.
So just put your boyfriend back in his little house.
Please. And never come here again.
Yeah, no, your trees are weird. Why would I want to come here?
Just go. You see she just sort of wraps her wings around the throne and sort of touches the points that still remain, like weeps at it, as if she'd lost something so precious she can't handle the loss.
Man, she really likes that chair. It's like whispered.
As you guys, he says, "Yes, I thought she might. Her and her sisters fought over that throne, and I wasn't entirely sure why, but I assumed it was important for some reason."
Yeah, she cares more about that chair than she cares about anything else, apparently.
Yes, maybe it's just because it's a symbol of status, or maybe it's something more important, but I think I did good or bad. One of those two. Probably very bad. I'm probably
if we die
going
later,
to
we'll
die
know
for
what,
this.
it'll be her fault.
What? as long as the ones we care about are free from a eternal prison, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, plus we'll have her sister probably on our side, so.
There's that as well. So, off we go. And as you begin making your way out of that space, and Zugtamoy with you, you see she taps and regenerates the damaged spores on Sporks, and he says,
Thank you, my queen. You're so kind. I don't deserve it. You really don't. But you're going to work for every single moment that I'm kind to you. Says, of course, your majesty, of course.
and as you all head back through the portal to do what you can, is there any way you would like to try to contact them to let them know things have changed?
I've used my ring.
I think Cleary already used his, didn't he?
Did he use a spell?
Did he already
Or-
use his sending spell? That's the question.
I don't remember. No, we talked, but I don't know if it was on his dime or
I think he
mine.
was going to, but then he realized he could respond to the one he was sent.
I think that
don't
was
he
me.
actually used his.
I'm looking for the spell. The charge is still there. SETI.
Yep.
You receive a message. Not sure how to use the charge now. But you receive a message. SETI. Apparently, she is capable of being released, but no way to inform the guard. She has desired her sister's freedom, so it should work now. But you have to...
Oh, he ran out of words. Oh shit, but I have to what? Hey, everybody! Clearly says it should work now that she has desired, but has no way to inform the guard. But, I'm informing the guard, I guess, if y'all can hear me up there. That it has been desired.
I'm sorry? What was that? You say that Her Majesty, Malcolm Det, has desired?
She is capable
That's
of being
interesting
released
news.
now.
Well, that is something.
Midnir, keep flying up. Try to get the jelly gone.
Alright, you fly at it. Make me a strength check.
A 12.
Oh, then fly into his
And-
butt as fast as you can.
You take 2
Wait.
points of bludgeoning damage.
So, don't I get... Hold on. I feel like it should be higher than that on default, but... Strength is less than your strength score.
Maybe you should just rage
so-
and do it with advantage.
Is it... Well, I mean, I could do that too. But isn't my score just the number underneath? It's not the bonus roll, right?
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah,
it's
so that'd be a
just
24 then.
Oh. Wait.
No, it's the modifier.
No, it's the bonus score. It's the modifier.
Well, it says if your strength check is less than your strength score, you can use that score in place of the total.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, so instead of a
Really?
12, I can do a 24.
I did not know that was a thing. So with a 24, your you can feel it sink in about a foot. But you haven't broken through.
I just like...
But you still take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's fine. It sort of worked.
What do you mean, sort of? You're either out or not, and you're not.
Well, my arm's in.
Are you stuck?
Does it come down just fine, or is it?
Oh yeah, it starts to come down, but as it does, it immediately starts to fill behind itself with that same impenetrable force. But your
Just like
arm was in.
Yeah, just stops with like part of arm in like, well, I can pull my hand out, so I'm not stuck, but it's not letting me in more.
Well, I could try some more magic shenanigans. I mean, if the prison is no longer the same prison it was because it's not supposed to be, maybe I can cast disintegrate on the jelly.
Oh shit! Gets out of the way. Just hears disintegrate. It's like run.
I mean, are you using disintegrate?
Yeah.
All right, so you look up and you cast disintegrate on it. And as it collides with it, it begins to roil and bubble. And then a ray of disintegration passes through and flies to the other side, out into the sky.
Oh,
Yes.
just above there.
That's so funny. I was gonna try that with Moonbeam.
Can I try to
track it?
Can I try to fly up through? Like, did it leave a hole that I can try to?
No,
It just went through.
just went through.
But is
Shit.
it doing things on the top side?
It flies off and then kind of dissipates a few hundred feet in the air.
Oh.
Didn't weaken it or anything.
Nope.
Rude.
It says, well then, that's so very good that you're able to do that. It's totally grand. I'm so impressed. You guys should be able to get out then. I expect, probably. Oh yes, dearie, of course, but we all have to agree upon it, don't we? Yes, we do. We have to let them out. Well, I do. Right, you'll have to convince me. Sorry, I'm doing my best, but unfortunately, unless you convince me, I'm not going to be able to let you out.
What do you mean? I mean, okay, so can you not sense like the will is gone? The will to keep it here is gone, so like it's all over now and we can all go home. Don't you want to go home? Or like anywhere but here?
I would love to personally, but I'm not sure what I want at all.
Do you want to self-actualize?
I'm not entirely sure what you mean.
There's like donuts out there and stuff. You could go like go
Oh,
to
look,
the
trust me,
good.
there's nothing I desire more than to exit this place and live my life the way I want. But I'm not sure what I want at all.
Well, why don't you ask yourself? Have a good think about it.
I'd love to, but I'm not
Surely-
sure where I am.
What do you mean you're not sure where you are? Aren't you here with all of us?
Can I be any more clear?
Are there
about
more of you
this?
than are currently here?
I've said from the beginning that all 9 of us are here. I'm just not sure where they
9?
all are.
Jesus fuck.
I don't know what that means.
Did we poof the other 6?
Oh, you counting the dead
Somebody make me an intelligence check. It was there
can
from
do
the
that.
beginning.
Does that include Bropsy?
Yep.
Oh, that's the wrong roll.
I only got a 14.
I got a 15.
Yeah, so you don't realize this, but Mitnir somehow realizes this, just meeting the threshold of 15. At the beginning of the fight, he says, you'll have to take on all 9 of us. And there were only 8 on the map.
Mitnir just starts counting out like, well, you stabbed, I slashed that one in half, you did that, like just counts through and goes,
You killed 5.
Mitnir can count if it's enemies.
Yeah, Meteor's like, we killed 5. There's 3. One's missing. I got it. We killed the other
Killed one
3,
with
and then there's
geekiness.
only one.
I mean,
So,
can't really do that from down here.
so this whole time there's just been a guy missing.
Well, no one asked earlier, you know.
That does seem to be the case. This pisses me off more than anything else. Fuck, I hate illusions. I hate people who make more people. Make hands like me.
How do
It's
you
honest.
how do you not know where the last one is? I mean, we've turned this place over upside down, inside out. I mean, is the
Well, I'm
other
quite
one
clever,
of you like
honestly.
is,
Significantly more so than myself.
When did any of you last see the missing you?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. We were basically made to entertain him, but now that you all arrived, you found a better use for us.
what does that mean? What's the better use? Keeping us distracted?
Well, yes, I was quite bored, and I decided, well, I'll make a bunch of other me's on different iterations in time, pretending to be different people, and then, oh, look, these individuals arrived. I think I know what I'll do. I'll keep them distracted. At least that's what I think I did. That's what I would do, but I'm not sure if it's what I did.
So
Have
you
you-
fucked yourself over.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
I'm certainly fucked because I'm pretty sure I heard the guy down below talking about killing me, and I just don't want that to happen. I surrendered before we even started.
we're not going to kill anybody else. We don't if we don't have to. So like, how do you not know? I mean, if you didn't want to be found, where would you go?
I think if I received proof, I would be okay with that, and I think we could solve a problem, but I need proof.
I don't know how we get proof. Does somebody... We can't scry because I have the crystal ball in my bag and I'm down here and I can't pass things up. And I don't know if it would work across planes anyway. But maybe if I try really, really hard, I can take your consciousness to the consciousness of your queen, and you can have a little chat in the sleep realm.
Yes, I suppose. If you're capable of doing it, I'm game to try, but you are between me and the water, and I have expressed my displeasure with the concept of going below that threshold.
I don't know if it would work, but I can try, because I don't have...
Well, try as you might, I don't mind a bit of a daytime nap. I've done quite a few, if I might say so.
Only thing is, if it's would you be able to convince yourself if I can only take... I don't know how fractured the people sort of copies work, if you're individuals or if it would be a collective consciousness sort of thing.
I don't know either. Only I know for certain.
Well, only one way to find out, I guess. Fuck it. I'm going to try to I'm going to enter sort of my trance state and use my Dream of the Blue Veil sort of ability.
Okay.
And I mean, I've done it before with other people, but typically in much different circumstances. So we'll see what I can get away with. Try to reach out to these other minds.
Okay. Does it say that you have to be touching the willing creatures?
I don't think it's... I think we've been taking a lot of liberties with it. But let me check. It's taking forever to load. Willing creatures within... Ooh, it's a 20-foot range. Fuck.
The thickness of the water itself, if he gets close enough, would be within that range.
I mean, look, I can, I can be up hugging the jello as much as possible. I can stick myself
Yeah,
in it.
just, as long as you inform him of that, yeah.
I need the somewhat close proximity to be able to sense the mind.
Right, I'll get as close as I can, but I promise you I'm not submerging even the tiniest toe or bit of fur into that well of death.
I don't blame you. We'll do our
I
best.
want to dunk him like a middle schooler into a fucking
Are
toilet.
you going to do it?
No.
Okay. All right, so he hovers down there and sort of stops right before he says, right then, go ahead. And it's still like, echoing through the water, sounding all warbled.
Okay, now I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna rage and try and splash through the water again. See if I can.
I will hold City up there.
Okay. So as you cast the spell and walk to where it is, using his mind as a guide, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check to navigate to her.
I don't know. Does a 26 actually get me into the water, or am I still just like a foot into
Are you
it?
pushing?
Yeah, I raged and went boosh. As they're doing this, I'm gonna try and get into the water again.
Yeah, your top half is in the
Unfortunately,
water.
I rolled a natural one.
For the natural one, you begin seeking and trying to find and follow his mind. Roll a d100 actually with a natural one. This actually might take you somewhere else.
Yours is worse than the deck of mini.
16.
16. That's wow. You guys are getting lucky on your d100 rolls. That's within the threshold. You're level 20. So when you open your eyes, you find yourself in a study. Books all around. Sort of a circular chamber. Books stacked high to the ceiling, knickknacks all around. Most of them you can feel, but with your eyes looking around, are created with magic itself. They have no actual physical form. And sitting in a large chair, looking weary, older than the others, you see an Arcanoloth.
Oh.
He looks at you and says, "And how did you get here, my dear?"
Hi. I dreamwalked, I guess. Are you
Oh,
the...
I see. It's been a long time since I've had a visitor. Kind of just like wobbles his way up and says, I'm sorry, I can't show more decorum. I ran out of tea some time ago. Sort of like shaking as he moves. He said, but I might have a few morsels left.
That's okay. If I'm asleep, I don't really need tea. Are you the original warden?
Warden? Oh, I suppose so. It's hard to say. Warden. Warden of what exactly?
Well, can I ask your name, sir?
Oh, I've written it down somewhere. And he begins searching through some papers on his desk. He says, Oreshka, I believe. Says it here in my signed correspondence to myself. That's odd.
Oh. Your other copies of you have been wondering where you are.
Yes, in fact, old man, I'm right here. Yes, I'm sorry, what? I thought you were a mirror. I looked good. So, what has happened out there, then? I remember creating you for something. Something, I'm not sure what.
Distraction? Or company?
It's all too fuzzy.
Amusement.
Well, what can I do for you, dear?
Well, I'm a messenger to inform you that the day has come to go home. The key is needed. The freedom is desired. The sister has spoken.
His eyes become glassy and he says,
The words mean something.
go ahead and make me a persuasion check. DC 30.
Oh boy. 31.
With a 31, his eyes, the glass, like the sort of fogginess to them starts to clear up a bit and becomes,
She desires it. After all this time, she desires it.
he gestures his hand, and as he does, you, Bropsy, see the two that are, or the three that are there, one of them unconscious, the other two just sort of arguing over books, poof, disappear. Instead of you see as like the sort of like convalescence of everything that they were sort of like flies into him in a moment as he sort of waves his hand, and you see like dust seems to appear from the ground where they turned into nothing but like starlight and dust on the within the grass, pulls in and just sort of zips off into the distance, Propsy. And you feel magic swell for a moment, and as it interests him, he takes a deep breath.
Ah, memories. Oh, yes. Now I remember. Well, it
Welcome
was a
back.
clever ploy I made to protect my mind. My body's become quite sad over time, but, well, I suppose... Oh, God. They're all so weird. Well, she desires it, does she?
Yes.
Very well, then. I shall be down momentarily.
And then at that moment, you see the top of his small little room, his circular room opens, and you can see a bright light, almost like a sun, sort of just lifting up from the roof and flying off into the distance.
Whoa.
And he
Okay.
begins to slowly, haven't done this in a while, hops, and then takes off into the sky, touching ground and hopping forward.
Can I kind of follow along as my astral projection?
At this point, you can try, or you're going to get sucked back. Make me an Arcana check again.
Okie dokie. That's a 10.
A 10. So you find yourself being pulled back to your own body.
Oh,
And as you're doing this, you look and you see a flash of light in the sky as a star burns brighter and brighter for a moment and then disappears. As you, Bropsy, see the same star do this right above the well, very center, beyond the nebulas, you watch as an older version of the Arcanoloth that has been giving you all so much trouble and headache begins bounding his way down and then suddenly falling faster and faster, plummeting towards the ground. And right as he's about to hit, he just sort of slows down, magic swirls around him, and he gently touches down as it's like you see like all the books and everything else just kind of like flutter in the wind and like get blown off into the well. And he looks around at all of you and goes, "Ooh," or well, just at Bropsy, who's up top. He says,
"Oh, a bird. Hello there. My name is Oleska. I'm the guardian of this place. I have memories of you, but they are, well, a bit scattered. So, it's nice to formally meet you as I truly am."
and he offers you a sort of like shaky, slightly old, decrepit paw.
Alright.
so the
Raptor's
last
kind of-
thing, last thing he remembers is getting pantsed.
You shake his paw,
Shake his hand.
Very good.
and you look and you see that there's a key in your hand.
I'm so miffed. I fucking knew it was up there and I just didn't keep going.
Says, I can see you're upset, my dear.
but you have what you need. So, let's do this. And as he hops over, says, Shami Amore, and he stands on the top of the well, and then he just sort of lowers himself right above the water. Your sister has desired your release. Know that this comes with the promise that you will not seek vengeance, and if you do, you may find yourself here again. Take this freedom, as has been offered you, to find a new life. You have suffered long enough, and she has forgiven your trespasses. I, Oreshka, have stood guard over you these many years, and I have worried for both our health. But as it is now today, your freedom is nigh, and so is mine, and let it be undone. And as he does so, he gestures, and the water that you're like forcing yourself through, Mitnir, suddenly starts falling down. You find yourself falling down into the well, plummeting further into the well. The water begins to fill the space, and it becomes less dense, but fills the entirety of the well, as if this 15-foot thick section of water was enough to fill hundreds and hundreds of feet of water, and all the pressure was going in one direction. As it completely fills, and you're all swirled in this chaos for a moment, and then suddenly the water level begins to drop. The broken bits at the bottom of the well begin to reform themselves into the surface of the wall. Everything begins to twist and churn and fix itself. And then you sit at the bottom of a pristine well, and about 20 feet off the ground is a keyhole. Shami Amore looks at all of you, just completely drenched for a moment, and then just gestures, and all of the water droplets fly up into the air for a moment. And then as she snaps, they disappear entirely, becoming part of the air again. And she goes, ah. She moves her wings. She looks up, and there's no drip, but she still winces for a moment and goes, this madness would be hard to get past. I owe you all. Although freeing me was not your intent, know that I owe you a favor. But I have many things to do, and I don't wish to destroy any of your souls, so I must be gone.
Good luck out there.
And then she just see as she looks up, and she flashes her wings and gone.
Okay, well, hopefully none of this will come back to bite us in the ass later. Boy, hey, there's a keyhole down here. Do we key for keyhole so we can maybe, because we didn't actually get what we came here for either, and that would really suck.
Oh, yes, the key has nothing to do with Shami Amore's release, to tell you honest. The key existed only a few hundred years ago.
Does it have anything to do
Once
with
it came into my possession, I became knowledgeable that I also became the guardian of this trial. A strange one though it might have been, it gave me the purpose that any that should find me, well, they were to have earned the privilege. However, freeing Shami Amore was not necessarily part of this trial.
Oh, so like I could have just come and found you, and you would have given me the key, and we could have gotten out of here without freeing her.
Oh, yes. In fact, if you'd have dealt with the other versions of me in a non-violent manner, you might have been able to do so.
Well,
they might have been able to reveal some sort of puzzle or something. I forget. It's been a long time. In fact, I think most of them have forgotten, thus the violence.
I did ask about the puzzle, and they were like, nope, there's no puzzle here, so...
As it is, I believe you know what to do with this. And he gestures to Bropsy, who has the key.
He holds down here at the bottom of the well.
Huh? Yeah, there's a keyhole down there. So you guys have found.
Yep. Bring the key. Let's go.
What if it's a trap this whole time? Sure.
I mean, do you say out loud, what if it's a trap?
Yeah, sure.
He says, oh, worry not. I may be a crafty old man, but I am that. An old man. I am done being crafty. After this, I shall do what I can to return to my former mistress, and hopefully she will reward me for my years of servitude. If not, she may devour me, but that is the price paid. Go ahead.
Oh,
Turn the key.
devoured.
Do you turn the key?
Yeah.
As you get to the bottom and you turn the key, suddenly the entire well begins to shake. The stone within it begins to move and pull itself apart. The stones are like kind of folding themselves back, like when they go into Diagon Alley in Harry Potter, just rolling back, revealing a wall of metal, sort of like glowing gear work behind it. And you see behind it a door appears. And not a door in the sense of like doorknob, handle, hinges. No, a small opening, a glass sort of portal, a window into another place. And looking ahead of you, you see what appears to be a small landing of bones and a Red Sea. This is your movement forward, and your reward is thus. And you begin to see that between every inch, every grout line between every brick of this well has a small little glint and shimmer.
Okay. I take a closer look and
Make me a nature check.
Never do that.
I got a 21.
With a 21, you see that between each little bit, probably very difficult to mine as these stones seem enchanted and strong, are small glittering bits of diamond.
Oh,
And that's where we're going to take our break.
alrighty.
So we'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys. See you soon. And we're back. So, as this sort of portal appears and you notice these diamonds glittering within the space, Destrin looks to each of you and he's like,
Thank you for getting me this far. I know you're all probably tired, but I need to move forward. She's keeping time at bay for us.
Right. Yeah, I mean, might as well see what's next.
Very well. I know we may need to rest, but I suppose we could use your fancy doodads or make moss seats or whatever, like the bird did before. Can she do that again?
Not yet. We would have to use the statue this time.
Oh. Well, I'm good to keep going, but it just depends on you guys.
Statue
Anyways,
essentially does the same thing.
And if we just put the statue close enough to the walls, it'll just take the diamonds from the wall.
I mean,
I still have gemstones specifically for the statue use.
yeah, I mean,
it's up to you guys.
I'm pretty short on
9 more
spells, but if
uses.
it's a fight we're getting into, then, you know, I'm mostly Eldritch Blast anyway, so I don't necessarily need all of my other spells.
We have enough gemstones at the moment for 9 more uses of the statue, so we can use it. It's fine.
okay, so as you guys use the statue, you can go ahead and take a long rest. While they're taking their long rest, Grim, you and Cleary make it back to the mansion, to where the door was most previously left. And in doing so, he says, well, hopefully she's all right. I have no means of sending any other form of contact. That said,
Hey, wouldn't you know something because of your fancy ring?
well, the fancy ring is something that we use to, when we're within a close enough proximity, protect one another.
Oh, I thought maybe you'd feel like the love disappeared from it or something.
If she was dead, I, I don't know.
I don't know.
But I don't believe she is. I think she's stronger than that. So
I mean, she's probably not dead.
no, you're
She
right. I
is.
feel
There's
her. And
always
she's...
necromancy.
He looks at you and says, "Watch it."
I don't look. She's got a phylactery, like the rest of you. She'll just come back.
It's a worst case scenario.
You act like Grim doesn't have contingencies for all these things.
Well, as it is, I definitely pissed somebody off, and I have yet to recover from my very strenuous culmination. So I do unfortunately need to rest.
Yeah, Grim needs to rest too, because I didn't rest either after my culmination, and I've been fighting these things.
Well,
Don't
I
tell
think
anybody, but
we've done all we can. I just hope the rest of them are okay.
Yeah, I'm not very well off either. I fought the demon guy with like
So
less than half health.
So as you guys taking your own legitimate long rest, no time skipping possible. That's where we leave these two characters for now. So from now on, you'll be piloting Destrin as for whatever combat scenarios are going on. If you can pull her back up.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll just have to look at her sheet. Yeah.
As you guys use the statue, take your 30 minutes to take your long rest. It's up to you if you want to communicate with Oreshka. He hasn't left yet. He's still within the well with you guys. Do you have any questions for him?
As we're taking our rest, I will make some food with the bag of bounty. And I'm going to try to make really good food, so I'll make a check for that real quick. And nope, it fails. I'll try again. It's fine. Okay, that one succeeds. So we have like the best possible spread as we're taking our
How many uses do you have per day with that thing?
3.
Oh, nice. So you just pull out a bunch of garbage and throw it to the side. He says, "Oh my God, it's food! I'm so good. Would I maybe have a bit of this?"
Wait a sec, that is gruel. Hang on a sec, and then I pull out the big aristocratic meal, and it's a nice.
His
spread.
eyes get wide, and he looks at it for a moment, and his eyes start twitching, and he looks at all of you and he goes, "I'll fucking shank you if you don't share with me. I swear to fucking."
No, it's in your honor. It's a feast for friends, for new friends.
Oh, thank heavens! I almost thought I died and gone to heaven, where I would have to shank you all.
No,
if that's
no
the case, just
shanking
think
in
what
hell.
happened to the other one.
Not sure exactly what you mean. If you mean the other me's, then you're quite right.
Just pulls his sword out just a little bit, like.
Oh yeah. Well,
No,
thank you for sharing.
this is a time for donuts and cakes and meats and cheeses and whatever else.
Yes, meat. And you see his little canines come out, and he's just like,
Ah, yes, the pre-fight.
and just bites the tiniest little bit and begins chewing it.
It's been a while since you've had good food, huh?
Kind of like clicks and chirps and makes fox noises, and then he just like just goes to town, loses all decorum, and you feast. So, any questions you would like to ask during this time, or anything else you would like to do?
I mean, I want his story. Like, how did he wind up serving what's her face? And, you know, did he sign up for this job? Was it what he thought? What's he going to do now?
I was seduced, like many, by
Queen Malconthette, when I stumbled upon her into a plane I know not how I entered. Seems that this is something they did for quite a long time, but she found my cleverness useful. When I was put here to guard this woman, she had already been here for some time herself. However, our time together became longer than that of any other guard she'd had before. First, she chided me that I would die long before I could see the end of my service, but I had learned magics during that time to extend myself, both mentally and physically. Creating duplicates of myself to maintain my memories in a sort of simulacrum allowed me to both extend my life expectancy by putting the burdens of my age upon them and postponing the process, as well as giving them a copy of my memories as well as a shred of my emotion, allowed me to see if it was like a backup of sorts to reintegrate and remind myself all that I had lost.
I see. It is very
I had performed this act once every 100 years, so I suppose I had how many main? 8? There's been about 800 years of this.
Goodness. Was a fairly
The memories
clever
are a
use
bit
of
jumbled.
the time to avoid going completely insane.
Oh, well, I do believe I did go mad. Some of the memories are of that madness, and as well as they did not age, their minds very much did.
I'm sorry you had to go through all that.
It is not you who did it. In fact, it is you who has freed me, as much as you have freed her. So I am forever grateful. That said, I know no other world. And as well as I do believe I shall travel outside of this place at some point, I will remain here until I am mentally prepared. I hope that is all right, as...
Yeah. This place is certainly a sort of a safe haven, I would assume, after all the time you have spent here. You know, the world at large, lots to offer, lots of scary things, lots of beautiful things. I'm sure it will welcome you back to it when you are ready.
Well, I look forward to that time. Perhaps we could all become, well, friends of some sort. In the interim, once I have got enough of my energy, my first stop will be my lady, as I mentioned. I need to face that. I'm just simply not ready yet.
Yes, maybe she might. I don't know if what her temperament is like, but I worry she may not have been too happy about this situation. So maybe.
Like I said, if I am devoured, that is that. But I will take some time here to gather myself.
And yeah.
Thank you for allowing it, being the ones who conquered this place. Sorry for speaking over here.
You know,
being alone for so long.
If you need a place, I have a. Sorry, this is fairly new, so I kind of forget. But I am sort of a lesser deity of refuge. And if you need a place to hang out and be safe and relax and feel comfortable, then I actually have a little realm. You would be the first guest, I think. If you wanted to, you know, hang out.
I couldn't bring that sort of scrutiny upon your home.
Obviously,
she would follow us there. She would not allow me to just escape away from her gaze. She will seek revenge.
Well, I mean, you know, it's that ship can be crossed when it sails. Is that the phrase?
Make a persuasion check.
Close enough. Something like "Don't cry over spilled bridges" or something, you know.
26.
26. You really think that I will be safe there? I won't have to answer to her.
We could do it together. And you know what? It is a place of safety for this precise reason. And you don't have to stay there forever. If you want to leave and reckon with things, then you can. But if you want to rest until then it is a nice place. And
You can see, in this moment, you feel your eyes, something visually changes. Inside of him, you see a tiny string, a thread.
Ooh.
It's a dark purple color that seems to be running far into the distance somewhere. It hasn't tied to something. You look at it and you can feel that there's something keeping him from saying yes to you, something that's holding him here.
And
he looks at you and he opens his mouth. What are you going to do?
Well,
you can sense he's about to say that he can't accept.
This thread, okay, so I know that my dad does the weave stuff and that Kieran can see weave stuff, and I feel like that's what this is. But can I, in this moment that I glimpse it, can I maybe, with my mental dream walking powers or whatever, get a sense of the energy of it, the play? Is this a tether to his mistress?
Yeah, go ahead, and in this moment, trying to decide what the best check for this would be. Make an insight check.
Ooh, that is a natural 1 for a 9. Fuck it, I'm going to follow my instincts and try to sever it with my mind.
Okay. In this case, make me a spell attack roll.
That is a 34.
34. As with your mind, you sort of gesture it towards that, and you feel like a surge of something bright inside of you pulses, and you watch as the thread snaps. And as it does, it seems to be left floating from himself, this sort of wisp that seems aimless for a moment, and then shoots off, now bright and blue, somewhere else entirely.
Oh.
And the moment he goes, that sounds lovely, actually.
Oh.
I could certainly use a bit of respite, if that's all right with you.
Of course.
Thank you so much, dear. I feel relieved for the first time. It's such a long time.
I'm so glad.
He reaches out, and gingerly takes your hand and says, "Thank you."
I pat his hand.
You said you are a goddess. Is there a name that you go by, a title?
Just Septimera.
Septimera. Goddess of refuge?
The Lady of Refuge.
Lady of Refuge. Very well. I accept. And as he says that, he turns to mist.
Oh shit.
And you watch in that moment, and you feel him enter. And Grim, right as you're about to fall asleep, you hear this noise of, "Who are you?"
What did I do?
It's somewhere far up above, but you hear Cleary now being very confused at this old person that shows up, and we're gonna move on from there. And as you all finish your rest, Oreshka now gone, you feel he has found a bit of home, and you feel a bit of light fill your chest.
I hope that doesn't bite me in the ass.
I need you to write just go down and make a note somewhere that you have 1 follower.
The power gaining begins.
So Seti's on a roll today. 2 potential bites in the ass.
And with that, as you all stand now, I assume, ready for more adventure, looking into the space beyond, Destrin looks to each of you and says,
Thank you, guys. But it's not done yet.
and she steps through the portal. Do you follow? Or do you guys like shut the door behind her and say, good luck, bitch?
Why she thinks she got to go first? Falls right behind her.
Hey, wait for me!
I'm also following, but I want to, as soon as like we are done with our rest, I want to use a 3rd level slot to message Cleary and just be like, we're free, going with Destrin to get sword. I sent an old foxman to the mansion. Take care of him, give him books and meat. Make him at home. See you soon.
As you say that, there is a response. His room has already created itself. It is attached to the library. A small tower. He says it resembles where he was staying before. He's making himself at home. Don't worry. I'll help him. Love. And that's it.
You know, for such a smart man, he's not very good at counting. Comes running out of words.
Could be the emotions.
Well then, as you all step through, you are immediately moved from this dank, dark feeling of this well you've spent several hours in and step out into a harsh area. You feel the acrid smell of not salt water, but iron, as an ocean of blood swells around you. The smell of decay, bones, each of which looks like it had flesh on it at one point, but nothing is left, as if it's been picked clean, chewed off. No bone looks unscathed and damaged just by nature itself, but looks like it's been chewed upon by some sort of wild creature. You're on a small island. The door behind you and then the open sky above is a sort of rust-colored hue. I think this might be it, says Destrin.
Now this is more of what I was expecting.
The Lady of Crows mentioned we would need a boat. I think this is the time. What was the password that he had? The magic word that he gave us for the boat that would fit all of us.
Bubblegum. No, that wasn't it.
It's Puffball.
But does anybody remember that it was Puffball?
Dandelion. No, that wasn't it.
I mean, Orin would remember.
Orin, you're there, aren't you?
Yep.
Let's go through several more just random
So you're just sitting there saying stuff in front of you then.
I'm just letting them squirm.
Okay.
Then I'll just be like, hand me the thing. I got it. And
They hand you the box.
Puffball.
And as you toss it out onto the water, and it poof, creates this large little skiff. You all begin loading onto the boat and taking off into the water. The smell of iron everywhere. You can see that one of Destrin's hands, Klepto, sort of like takes his manicured finger and sort of drapes it off the side of the boat and touches a bit of the water and comes back up, and like his finger is it's covered in actual blood.
Don't drink the water.
You
Yeah.
continue sailing. Where would you guys like to go? This
Well,
place
I'm gonna be
seems...
like the lookout, so I'll be looking for anything in the distance.
You're just gonna fly up above and sort of look for...
Well, I can just do it from the boat.
Okay.
Actually, I probably will fly up a bit to get a good view.
Okay, make me a perception check. I'll say that if you roll beat a 30, you'll see your intended destination. Because it is miles away.
I got 30.
Well then. As you lift up into the air and look around in all directions, you see that there are lots of bone-covered islands, and you're within like a sort of sea out here, but it does seem to fall off in a couple of different directions. It's not infinite. However, in one direction, you see that there is a glint, a sort of bit of shine, as if something is reflecting light. You're not sure if it's an illusion at first, and it's miles to the west, but you look out there, and as you do, you see just this shining bit of glimmer, this one star among the islands. As if sunlight's catching something shiny.
I see something that could be what we're looking for. Let's go in this direction.
Okay.
So we'll head towards that.
And I assume the rest of you follow suit,
Yeah.
Rudder.
rowing the boat. As you row the boat, is there a particular way you would like to approach this, or are you just sailing where you gotta go?
I think as we're
I guess it's a
sailing,
rowboat. You're rowing.
rowing, sure. As we're getting closer, I'll just keep my eye out for anything.
All right. Make me a perception check.
Just in case this thing is guarded. Oh, it's a nat 20 for 37.
For the nat 20 for 37, you do see that between you guys and that, there are areas of water that are moving unnaturally.
So I'll just mention, I think there's things in the blood between us and our destination. So everyone keep an eye out.
I will ready an Eldritch Blast in case something jumps out of the water.
Okay. So you just continue ahead,
Yep.
attempting to pass through whatever the churning water is. Water.
That's up to you guys. Do you want to stay the course or try and avoid stuff?
I mean, I can go faster. You're like preps to be like, boom.
We're still limited time.
Yeah.
Straight line then?
Yeah.
Faster! I mean, you just really starts going for it.
All right. You guys go for it and go for it and go for it.
We're now a motorboat.
You continue moving through. The water churns. And as you were passing a section of water, I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on a map as the water churning seems to move and jostle the boat. And who else do I need to put on here? Seti?
Need a bird?
Perhaps he's on there.
Oh, there she is. It's so small.
So we've got Destrin, SETI, and I'll make Destrin controllable by Grim. Okay. So, you find yourself passing by a small island, navigating your way through the spires of piled bones within this blood-red ocean. And you feel a bit of it shifting and moving. Where would you like to take the boat in this instance?
Is that the island we're headed to, or is that just one nearby?
That is an island that is you happen to be passing by when things
Okay.
start to get rough.
Probably skirt the island a bit.
Yeah, like something like that way.
Yeah.
That showed up,
What way?
like kind of up.
All right. So as you guys get into this spot, the boat jostles again. And make me a strength check, Mitnir. And put yourself where you'd like to be flying, Orin.
Let's see, just strength.
Just be near the front.
So a 24.
Well, a 24. Oh, let's make a competing strength check. That's that could do.
Oh, I want to give myself foresight. I forgot I can do that now.
You rolled a what? 20
24.
strength check? Oh, they rolled a 29 strength check. So one of the oars is ripped out from your grasp. Unless you want to really hold on to it.
I think if I start feeling it tugging, gonna like let go of the other one and try and just like yank it.
Something grabs onto it, it stops, and then pulls stronger than you can pull it back. Would you like to grab on and go for
I'm
a
gonna try and
ride?
grab and like brace at the edge of the boat, like not let it just go.
Okay, make me a strength saving throw then.
Does my -2? Is it all saving throws on my -2? Oh, where's my note for that?
Yes.
Okay. That's 23.
Fortunately, you pull to the edge of the boat, and the boat gives way at the corner. And you think that you're gonna be able to hook your foot, and you just slip over the side and go tumbling into the blood below. For a moment, you are swirled around. I'm gonna go ahead and do this damage. You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as you're ripped through, and then you guys watch as a massive blood red tentacle lifts off out of the ground and flings Mitnir at the land. So you're gonna crash into the land. And this is I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh, 18.
18. Unfortunately, that doesn't make it. So you're gonna take 4, 8, 9. You're getting lucky on the dice rolls. 18 points of bludgeoning damage as you're planted into the ground and are prone.
Ugh.
At that moment, I need everybody to roll initiative as the creature rises from the depths.
big boy.
Grab my red die for this one. Oh, look, its initiative at least was low. Oh my god, it's so low. It'll be going last. All right. Anybody roll above a 30?
Nope.
All right, 25? 20?
24 for Destrin.
So Destrin.
Need a bird initiative.
Propsy? Kita? You're muted? Or in those 5 minutes she fell asleep?
Somebody roll for Bropsy.
I can roll it for her. She got 23.
Holy crap.
Our druids rolled really high initiatives this time. Or, well, druid.
Okay, 15 to 20.
16.
Seriously, Warren?
Did you not one? Like, what's going on?
I rolled a 2 for a 13.
All right, anybody else above a 10?
14.
10 to 15?
Oh no!
Okay.
Yeah, I got
Monk
lowest
is
out of
last.
all of them.
That doesn't happen very often.
Nope.
Not with a plus 11 initiative.
Graham, what did you get?
Destrin went
Destrin
first,
was
right?
24.
Destrin
Oh,
was
you were
24.
Destrin. I'm waiting for Graham, but he's not there. I'm an idiot. We'll just
He
move on.
doesn't. He's not here.
Okay, so with that, Destrin will be going first. What would you like to
gosh.
do?
Well, she can't walk on blood water.
She certainly can't. She is not that far away from land, though.
That's true. Let me zoom in here. Sorry, James is getting all loud in the background.
She's like, this is not ideal. This is not ideal. This is not ideal.
I'm guessing she could make it to the land pretty easily there. Her
Yeah.
acrobatics and athletics and her acrobatics are fine.
Yeah, I mean, she's only got to jump 10 to 15 feet, so.
Yeah. So I guess she'll go to the land.
All right, just go ahead and make me acrobatics check.
Yeah. It's a 22.
Yeah, so she just leaps across, lands, sort of like hear the sound of cracking bones. Mitnir, of course, you are in a pile of dust from the bones having exploded on your landing.
And then she's definitely gonna cast something. I figure out what her bonus actions are. Let's see. She's already used one dark shroud today, or did they already rested, right?
Yes.
Everybody's at full rest.
Everybody's rested. Okay, so she's gonna use a dark shroud. May as well give everyone around her bonuses there. And then I guess since she can't do nothing else really from this range, she'll just chill touch on
I'm
the
gonna do a circle. How big is the radius on that?
30 foot. That near should be in range, right? I mean on the darkness. I mean the darkness radius. I mean that near should be 30 foot in range. Oh, everybody's in it. Okay. Oh, actually, where's Orin?
I was near the front of the boat.
Oh yeah, so everybody's in the 30 foot.
All right.
But
I made
for chill touch, it's 120 feet. So, but So that one should be able to
Let
do
me
that
just,
ranged touch attack.
Center it on her as best I can. So that's a 30-foot radius, I think, more or less.
Well, that's a 30-foot
5,
diameter, isn't it?
I think you can actually put an aura
5, 10,
on the
15,
character
20,
itself.
25, 30.
No, yeah, it goes through the 30.
Yeah, but when you look at the...
See?
Oh, okay. How do you do that?
You click on the gear icon and just scroll down, and there's token aura. You just put in how many feet and what color you want it to be.
Oh, how do I do that? Gear. Or is that a DM thing?
No, as long as you control that token, you can do it. Just below where like the token bars are on the token settings page. It's token aura.
There you go. That was about the same size.
Yeah.
The one I did
right.
is a 60-foot because that's what my light one is going to be. So I'm just going to leave that one there for now.
So
Well,
then
that's important.
she'll do her chill touch. And that's just a, what, plus 11 to hit? 20.
All right. 20 does not hit. She reaches out, like this sort of like spectral hand flies and attempts to grab it, but it just finds no purchase.
You whiffed!
Okay. Is that her turn?
Yep.
No bonus actions?
Her bonus section was the...
Oh, yeah, set the darkness up. Gotcha.
AoE.
Propsy. You can leave your light on if you want.
I'll wait till my turn.
Gotcha.
Probably have Beeline Pilot Propsy.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, she's definitely going to fly. I can't move her at the moment, though.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, sorry. All right, there you go.
Okay. She's going to kind of fly over this way to be sort of close to everybody. And then... you know what? I think she's... Oh, that's a bonus action. Okay, so bonus action, breath point to give Orin haste. Action. What you got for... that's a 10-foot range. Oh, maybe this one. Where's the ruler? Oh, yeah. So she'll do a frostbite at it.
All right.
Oh, which is a con save.
Constitution saving throw. Gotcha.
DC
It's 24.
Oh, so she saves. Probably takes no damage, right? I assume.
If it's a cantrip, probably not.
It is a cantrip,
If it's
yeah.
then probably not.
Yeah, so nothing happens then. Okay, that's it.
All right. Mitnir.
Half my movement to stand up,
Yep.
and then I'll move.
Just
like,
the standing up in the dust.
yeah, just kind of like
Like you can't even see him. He's just in a cloud of bone dust.
and then I will rage to start with to get that going. So if I get hit again, it hurts less. And I will do a lightning breath since I can shoot that far now, I think.
All right, so you guys watch Mitnir stands up out of this cloud, and he just goes, just like roars out into the sky, and you can see lightning starts building up around his body. He just pulls his body back, breathes in deep, and then shoots a freaking laser beam of lightning at this thing.
6-foot range, and double the standard dice. I got my note and they stayed this time. So it's 10d6 with a save of 22, Dex DC of 22.
Dex DC 22, it fails.
So that is 44 lightning.
It strikes into it and the lightning arcs around its body, starting off your blue color and turns red. And just arcs through its body. No reaction.
Okay, that's my turn.
Alrighty. Oh, sorry, my bad. Seti.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do Tasha's Otherworldly Guise for my bonus action and take off myself into the air. I think I might just go 40 feet straight up. Get myself some distance.
Alright.
And then I'm going to, you guessed it, Eldritch Blast.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. So that's a 34 for the first one.
Yeah, that'll hit.
35.
Mm-hmm.
24?
24 misses. Well, it hits it, but it doesn't seem effective.
Damn, 22.
Also not effective.
I rolled 2 bad ones. But that's a total of 24 force damage. And I'm going to do an aspect of Twilight to add some Radiant as well.
Okay.
That's going to be... 10 points, I think? It's cocked. Let's see what the thing decides. Yeah, 10.
Alright, so Seti lifts up into the air and just sort of explodes out. Darkness pours through, and then there's just a bead of light in the darkness, like a small sun, as she gestures forward and then fires off all these Eldritch Blasts imbued with Twilight. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Orin.
Okie doke. So I'm gonna fly up this way.
Okay.
Action, Lord of Light.
Alright,
Bonus
so you
action, Sun Shield.
flies out
Hasted
in
action.
Oh,
Radiant Soul.
goodness.
Doing all my
In a
buffs
mo-
this round.
As he flies out, you see that there is just a cacophony of light bursts from him as he just boom, 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 it just becomes more holy. There's like you can hear the chimes of in the mountains of Mount Celestia ring for a moment as he becomes fully regalia and takes his place in the sky, brightening things up, which still creates no effect on the darkness that doesn't dispel it in any way, shape, or form. There remains two like orbs of light and dark sort of coalescing with one another and not canceling each other out. Okay, that's your turn?
Yeah.
It is now the beast's turn. It is going to, first of all, I think one tentacle is going to grapple the boat, which will take it. It will lift that up in the air. Another tentacle is going to move. How far would we get? Actually, let's just move forward a bit in general. So it'll use one thing to grab the boat. I'm just going to twist it the direction I want and put it in this tentacle right here. Then we've got another one's going to try to grab the bird. That is a 27 to hit Bropsy.
I think she will breath point that.
Okay, breath point stops it from grabbing her. Her AC is plus 10 until the start of the next turn. Then we've got another attempt to grab let's say, let's grab the bright one. You're very bright and shiny.
Mhm.
That is a 31.
That just hits.
So it grabs you with a 31. And that's going to do... oh, that was a low roll, so you're good there. 7 plus, so 17 points of bludgeoning damage. And 18 points of acid damage, and you are restrained.
Okay, so I'm resistant.
Grappled
to
and
acid,
restrained.
So,
So 9 points of acid damage.
Mm.
You were grappled and restrained. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab you and put you in a tentacle.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's going to put us... No, actually, it's not the end of its turn, is it? It does that.
Oh, I guess I'll use my reaction to deal. I think it's 10.
Oh no, okay, that was
10 radiant damage to it.
That was its actual turn. It has its legendary actions to do other shit. So
because it hit me, I'll use my reaction to deal 10 radiant damage to it.
10 radiant damage to it. All right, so actually, I'm gonna go ahead and retcon because I forgot about legendary actions. It says you're gonna do your 10 radiant damage. I'm gonna have it do one of its legendary actions it could have done during that time at the end of your turn, so technically the start of its, because it gets a new set at this round, and I'm an idiot. I forgot about the way things work. So it's going to target Mitnir to pay you back. That lightning that arcs through its body raises up, and as it does, it flies up into the sky for a moment, and you see red lightning begin to move the clouds up ahead as a storm forms, and it strikes down, one at you, one at Bropsy, and one at he doesn't really know where.
I was gonna say I'm in Destrin's.
Yeah, you're in the
now.
darkness. So you actually let me look at their.
Is also in the darkness.
They have true sight, 120 feet.
Okay.
So they can see you. That's what I was just checking, is if they had true sight. So they can see you, but you still have the stealth advantage. If you wanted to like hide, you could still hide with an increased stealth. And there's plenty of bones to hide in. But at the moment, they can see you. So it's going to be Bropsy, Mitnir, and Destrin, all that are sitting on that coast. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please. I'll go ahead and roll damage.
18.
10.
21 for Bropsy.
It's going to be... it's going to be 19 points of lightning damage and 24 points of necrotic. For what did you guys roll again?
18.
Phil?
21.
Oh, I definitely failed.
All right, so all three of you guys fail and take that full amount of damage.
It was
Is
20.
18 and 24?
18 and 24. 18 lightning damage, 24 necrotic. And with that, its turn ends. New round of its stuff. Destrin's turn.
Okay. Trying to think of what I can actually do. Because it's hard to get to that thing. Trying to find a way to actually get to it. Because I can't fly like some of y'all.
Just get grappled like me.
She does have some cool stuff she can do with her things. I just don't remember exactly what. She can give herself flight, I think.
Can't she give herself flight? That's what I'm looking for. Let's see here. Oh, can she do that with tokens?
So with her soul trinkets, I think she can, using her
One of them, yeah. Can't she?
features, traits, deathless nature, knowledge of the past, shadow touched, boon.
I feel like that was one of them, right?
Undead fortitude, gatherer of the, yeah, so she can do gift of flight as a bonus action.
Oh, is this Gatherer of the Raven?
Yep. You gain a flying speed equal to twice your walking speed for 1 minute in exchange for 1 soul token.
Then she gonna do that, right? I mean, that seems to make the most sense in
Yeah, if she
Oh.
wants to.
a bunch of blood situation. She needs mobility.
Yep.
So she's gonna do that as a bonus action. And she gets 60 foot.
Yeah, it's double your walking speed, so 60-foot flight. So black raven wings sprout out of her back, and she takes off.
Go over
Oh,
here.
She's somewhere underneath the boat.
Oh, can you not see her?
Yeah, it's okay though.
I see her on the boat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, she is there.
Well,
Never mind, I
anyway.
see her.
She's there. And she's going on a sneak attack.
Yep, because she pretty much always has sneak attack as long as she's in darkness, and she carries the darkness with her. So
Exactly. Oh, you know what? I can do that without. I can't do the booming blade right now. Well, no, I can do booming blade because that's my action.
you can. Yep, you 100% can do booming blade.
Okay. Natural 20. Well, that's good.
That means she crits, which means
She
other
does
stuff happens.
lots of other stuff. Yeah, so she does that. She doesn't double dice on the sneak attack though.
Yes, she does. You 100% double dice on the sneak attack.
Do you?
Yeah, you double all dice rolled. So that includes booming blade. That includes her sneak attack dice, her regular dice, and then the I think it's in features and traits maybe.
Okay, well let's booming blade. Look at you go, Destrin.
I'll find out how much she crits for. It's a lot of extra.
Well, and she does an additional dexterity bonus too, doesn't she? From her
No, it's-
overwhelming.
Overwhelming strike. You deal 26 extra damage to the target.
Oh, is that what she does?
The extra damage is the same type as the attack's type. So an extra 26 points of piercing damage. So double whatever the dice is, which is 6d6 plus 1d4 plus 3d8.
So 154 damage she dealt.
So she flies up, stabs this thing, and there's a concussive as she does so. And it takes 154 points of damage, you said?
Yeah, 34 of that is thunder.
Yeah, it's not resistant.
And the
to
rest
thunder.
is piercing, well, with some necrotic in there, I guess, from the weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, some of that actually is the. No, never mind. Never mind.
It's 154. I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to say it all happens.
Okay. Yeah.
God, that's harder math than I was prepared to do too. Jesus Christ. That is the biggest single hit that has happened in this campaign. Except for Poison Nuke. And it might even have surpassed that. So she stabs this thing
I don't think I
straight
rolled
into one of its eyes.
I don't think I rolled the necrotic actually. Yeah, I didn't roll the necrotic. So she needs the 2d6 necrotic too. Oh, this is 2 more damage. 156. There you go.
Well, that damage does not do anything. So.
Well, there you go. That one's negligible.
So I was gonna try to figure out what it was because
And
it's
her
part of everything
piercing
else.
ignores resistance, right? Because of her, what do you call it anyway? What's that ability?
I don't
she
remember,
has?
but I'll believe you.
Overcome defenses. The bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage you deal always ignores resistance.
There you go. So she stabs the living fuck out of this thing, and it screams. And as a reaction to that, it's going to throw the boat. So it's going to throw the boat. Oh, God. It can't really hit 2 people at once, can it? How high up is Bropsy?
Probably just like 30 feet.
30 feet.
Guess I should
The
write
boat
that.
is more than 30 feet across. It's going to try to hit Bropsy and Mitnir with the boat. So I need you both to make a dexterity saving throw.
$17.
That's a failure.
21.
You know what? I'm going to say that's a success because I'm going to give it a penalty equal to its proficiency bonus. So yes, that's a success. So you're going to take half damage. Because it's not used to throwing boats. Well, it probably is, but it's been a while since it's seen a boat. That's 28 points of bludgeoning damage, reduced to 14 for you, Mitt here. And Bropsy is knocked prone. So I'm going to put her like on the ground and she's knocked prone. And the boat is just going to just keep going, like rolling end over end until it ends up half back in the water. And as this thing lets out a concussive roar, we will go ahead and end our session there and pick up with Bropsy's turn next week.
Wow.
If we play next week.
You did it, Destrin. You stabbed the thing.